From Kingman Gym in Ottawa, Illinois, Clutch Sports Media is live for an IHSA 3A Supersectional heavyweight fight. The St. Francis Spartans out of Wheaton and the Metamora Redbirds ready to battle with a trip to the IHSA State Tournament on the line. It's going to be a good one, and over the course of the next 2 hours or so, you'll hear it all live on Clutch Sports Media. I'm Joey Wright, taking you through the pregame festivities as we have about 10 minutes left on the clock. Both teams on the floor warming up. One win away from the State Farm Center in Champaign. Glad you're with us tonight. John Camosa and Larry Larson coming up with the call of the game. They are both down on the floor right now, chatting it up with the head coaches involved in this one. Aaron Dwyer for St. Francis and Danny Greaves for Metamora. Two teams coming in here red hot. St. Francis 8-2 in their last 10, 16-2 in their last 18. And the Metamora Redbirds, a 16-game winning streak entering this one. That's the second longest active winning streak in the state of Illinois. So two teams that know their way around the win column. St. Francis 27-8 on the season. Metamora 28-6 on the season overall. St. Francis out of the Metro Suburban Conference. They finished 10-2 in conference play this season. Metamora Redbirds out of the Middle Illini Conference finished 13-1 in conference play. Let's set the stage for you here in Ottawa. We're in the historic Kingman Gym, and this place is filling up. It has been full. It was full well in advance of the teams taking the floor for warm-ups, but now as the plot is beginning to thicken and these teams are on the floor shooting around, this place is filled to the brim, especially on the Metamora side, and that's where we're stationed, on the Metamora side of the stands on the left balcony. I look behind us and I look off to our right, which is where the Metamora student section is stationed, under the far basket off to our right. It's absolutely packed, folks. Good luck getting around. I don't think you could. It's a steep setup here in Ottawa, a little bit unorthodox by the standards of newer gyms. This is an older facility. There is very little seating in the lower bowl. There's about 3 rows of bleachers across from us and maybe a row of seating on the near side on that lower bowl, but the near side is where the benches are. So the benches and team personnel get those first 2 rows, and I think I see a couple fans positioned on that 3rd row of bleachers. Point being, not a lot of space for fans to sit down below, although the lower level is where the student sections are each positioned, one under each basket, and they've got about 10 rows of seating to work with. Metamora's section completely full, a sea of black. Looks like blackout's the theme, and I see some Metamora flags and apparel of that nature being waved around. St. Francis has brought a good contingent, a few openings in the bleachers, but perhaps those will fill up in the next 6 minutes and 40 seconds. A sea of blue there, and again some flags and things being waved around. It is a good, healthy crowd for St. Francis, don't get me wrong, and their section across from us mostly full, especially in the middle. Some open seats on the sidelines, or I should say the sides on the right and left, but both teams have traveled well. It's going to be a raucous atmosphere. The Metamora contingent cheering as the Redbirds depart the floor. St. Francis still on the floor shooting around. And we'll see how much longer they stay on here for warm-ups, but Metamora departing. 6 minutes on the board for the warm-up period. Going to be a great atmosphere here. Winner on to state next week at the State Farm Center. And let's take a look at how we got here. St. Francis, as I mentioned, 27-8, 10-2 in the Metro Suburban Conference. 8-2 in their last 10, but a 5-game winning streak entering tonight. They won their last game of the regular season, a 2-point win on the road at West Chicago. And then in the playoffs, they've beaten Plano, Marmion, Wakanda, and Burlington Central. A couple of close games in there. 37-35 was the win against Burlington Central in the sectional final to send us here to state for the St. Francis Spartans. And Metamora here by virtue of a thrilling win over Rock Island on Friday night as well in the Bradley University sectional in Peoria. Led by as many as 18 to the Redbirds in that one. wound up winning by just 4 as the Rocks put together a valiant effort in the fourth quarter. Nearly staged a comeback to win it, but fell short. And Metamora, a 68-64 winner in the sectional final. But before that, in the playoffs, they didn't have to play many close ones. In the sectional semifinal, they beat the Rochelle Hubs 70-42, a 28-point win. Washington fell in the regional final to Metamora as we work backwards. 60-46 was the final score. Redbirds over the Panthers in that one, a rivalry game. And in the Redbirds' first playoff game, the regional semifinal against Peoria Richwoods, and that regional tournament at Richwoods, by the way, no home court advantage for the Knights as the Redbirds beat them by 20, 77-57. But the Redbirds here riding a 16-game winning streak that began with a win against Oak Park River Forest, a 68-51 triumph on January 17th, and they've been winning since. Their last loss was at Washington, a game that Metamora believes they should have won, and they probably should have. They were up late. The Panthers staged a late comeback and won by 4 at the end of regulation, 43-39. But two teams that have a great chance. They're coming in off similar resumes. It's going to be a coin flip, folks. This is going to be a good one. 3 minutes and 35 seconds left in the warm-up period, and the national anthem and lineups to follow. Let's welcome in Larry Larson. Larry, before I hand the reins completely over to you and John Camosa, who will take our listeners through the action tonight, I was just saying this game's a coin flip. You talked with both head coaches a moment ago as Metamora returns to the court. Your takeaways from your time on the floor.
Well, first, St. Francis has a very special group. It's been almost the entire team has been together since 6th grade. And a lot of the time when you get a team that makes a state run, that is the case. So that's one thing that jumps out for St. Francis. But for Metamora, if I'm St. Francis, I'm a little scared. Head coach Danny Greaves is not hiding that this is a revenge game for the Metamora Redbirds. In 2018, they got robbed from a trip to state. I asked Coach Greaves, is that on your mind tonight? He said, you're darn right it is. He didn't say you're darn right. He said something else, but we'll keep it clean for the airwaves here. But they're fired up. They are ready to go for this one. And Coach Greaves, we talked to him a lot. He's always fired up for games. He is intensely focused for this one.
The Redbirds believe they have the team that could send them to the state tournament for the first time, and I'm sure that's the case too for St. Francis. They have one state tournament appearance in their history in 1989. It's been a while, and I'm sure it'll come up throughout the evening, Larry. You know, Clutch Sports Media, we do a lot of games in the Peoria area, the surrounding communities. Metamora not far from Peoria. We've seen them a lot this season. Just from having seen them and having spoken with some folks in and outside of the Metamora program, they believe that this is that team of destiny. They're such a young team, just one senior who will play significant minutes. That's Zach Schroeder, maybe the team MVP this season, but you look up and down this roster. Ethan Kaiser, high-flying junior. Tyson Swanson and Drew Tucker, junior guards. Freshman Matthew Zobrist was big in the sectional final on Friday. I mean, this Metamora team is as deep as they've ever been, and they've got so many guys up and down the roster that can step up and make an impact.
Yeah, Joe, and you look up and down the roster, you name a lot of those names. There are some guys that really don't play much that can come on the floor and make an impact. You know, a guy like Luke DeFrance, Solomon Schwartz, two great athletes that we've called their name a lot, you know, maybe the last 2 seasons, but maybe not this season. Those are guys that can step up if the Redbirds need them. So this is depth at its finest. Boy, are they excited. Their student section is just packed. You mentioned Team of Destiny. I think Coach Greaves and company knew that this was going to be the year, perhaps starting as soon as a handful of years ago.
Redbirds 28-6. The St. Francis Spartans 27-8. Take your picks now, folks. This is a heavyweight fight. It's everything you want in a super sectional with a trip to state on the line, a packed house at the Kingman Gym in Ottawa, and the pregame festivities just getting ready to go. We'll step aside for a quick break and rejoin the action. Larry Larson and John Camosa take you through this one. It's IHSA playoff basketball on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots, That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
We are moments away from basketball at the Kingman Gym in Ottawa, Illinois. It's an IHSA 3A Supersectional matchup with a trip to the State Farm Center on the line. It's the Metamora Redbirds and the St. Francis Spartans. Good evening, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Alongside John Camosa, it's Larry Larson in with you. And John, the excitement in this gym is palpable. It always is this time of year, and I think the main storyline tonight is redemption for Metamora. They thought they had a state berth in 2018, but they didn't. They had it taken away by a call, and tonight they're there to take it back.
Yeah, and you got to think somewhere in the back of Coach Shani Greaves' mind and the Metamora team, players that were a part of that team, there's a little bit of a revenge factor there. They want to get to the state finals. Champaign is one win away, and you know Metamora is motivated. Same goes for St. Francis. They had a big win over Burlington Central in the sectional championship after a buzzer beater by Sebastian Miller. They want to reach state as well. This should be an all-out battle.
And in case you can't hear the energy behind us, we've got a decibel meter going. Right now, during the starting lineups, it's peaking right around 90 decibels. It's going to be a rowdy crowd in here tonight. Let's get you the starting lineups for both sides, starting with the Metamora Redbirds. They're in their traveling blacks, red numbers, red lettering on their uniforms. And it starts with a senior, Zach Schroeder, the captain of this Redbird squad. Ethan Kaiser, now a 1,000-point career scorer in high school. Tyson Swanson, a 6'2 junior. Drew Tucker, another 6'2 junior. And Tyler Mason, a 6-foot sophomore. Those are the Redbirds. These are the St. Francis Spartans suiting up in their home whites, blue numbers, blue text across the chest. It starts with Jack Brennan, a 6'2 senior, the captain of the Spartan squad. Sebastian Miller, a 6'2 senior guard, jumps out as a great athlete for the Spartans. Brendan Yaruso, a sharpshooting 6'1 senior guard. Nicholas Rowland, a 6'2 senior, and Sean Killian, a 6'2 senior guard, rounds it out. John, tip-off moments away. Pick one key to the game for both sides.
Yeah, key to the game for Wheaton St. Francis. They're going to want to push the tempo here. It was a lower scoring game in their sectional championship, so I think they want to control that tempo early and get out on the run. If you're Metamora, it's own that offensive glass. That's what they did so well against Rock Island. They're a team that's going to want to get out and run as well, but offensive rebounds and free throws down the stretch are going to be critical for both teams in a game like this.
Both student sections jumping up and down. It means it's time for tip-off. A state berth on the line. Metamora wins the tip-off. They'll move from right to left. Zach Schroeder walks it across the Ottawa O at half court. Work to the left wing to Kaiser. Now into the hands of Drew Tucker. Up top to Swanson. Now at the left wing, Schroeder drives to the free throw line. Had the pass tipped away who's looking for Tyler Mason, and it bounces out of the left sideline, out off of the Redbirds. St. Francis will have a chance to strike first.
And if St. Francis is looking for that early momentum, it starts right there with a turnover. They get the ball back and a chance to strike first.
Sebastian Miller at the left wing, now to the right wing. To Sean Killian, into the corner, Jack Brennan. Brennan up top. Yarusso thought about the elbow jumper. Instead works it to the left wing to Rowland, back into the hands of Yarusso, and he directs traffic. 7:20 to go first quarter. We're still scoreless, just underway. It's into the post to Rowland. The left elbow, now back out. Brendan Yarusso thought about the three. Looking to drive inside, picks it up, passes inside into the hands of Rowland. Tries a post move, couldn't get it. Second chance bucket goes down for Sebastian Miller, and it's 2-0 St. Francis.
Miller had that big game winner over Burlington Central. He starts the game right here with the first points to spark the Spartans.
St. Francis, the Crystal Lake South sectional champion, 1-2 over Burlington Central. Metamora with possession on the right wing. It's Drew Tucker, drives inside to the bucket. The finger roll is good.
Really nice take there from Tucker. Something he did really well against Rock Island, getting to the basket. He shows that tonight in this super sectional.
Jack Brennan barely gets across half court before being stopped by Zach Schroeder. It's at the deep left wing, Yarusso. Back into the hands of Sebastian Miller. Feeds Rowland at the bottom post. He dishes down low to Miller. Tried to slam it, but he lost control. Zach Schroeder jets ahead, kicks into the corner. Drew Tucker drives baseline and thought better of it. Dribbles back into the left corner. Now up top, deep left. Around the horn to Tyson Swanson. Now deep right with Tyler Mason. The 6-foot sophomore had 16 points in Friday's sectional title game over Rock Island. Zach Schroeder at the deep left wing. Dribbles around a screen from Kaiser to the left block. Goes up strong, up under, and couldn't get the reverse layup. Rebound St. Francis. Brennan to the right wing. Yarusso thought about the three and feeds Killian in the post. Turn, hook shot off the window and good.
One thing we could say about both teams, Larry, extremely unselfish. A lot of ball movement by Metamora early on, and Wheaton St. Francis looking for the right shot.
Metamora trails 4-2, 5.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Redbirds with the basketball. Tyson Swanson between the rings. To the right wing, into the hands of Drew Tucker. Dishes into the right corner for Tyler Mason. Looking for Swanson in the post. He's got it. Double team. Back out. Three from Mason. Got it.
And that gets the home crowd fired up behind us for the Redbirds. The sophomore hitting a big shot.
Metamora back into the driver's seat by one. It's 5-4, 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter, and it's a turnover. Into the hands of Kaiser. Bounce pass ahead to Tucker. The lob to Kaiser. Can't finish the slam. Rebound Sebastian Miller. Spartans push it into the corner. Yarusso thought about the three and an offensive foul called. Let me tell you, Joko, the house was about to be brought down if Kaiser finished that.
Yeah, we saw Ethan Kaiser on Friday night in the sectional championship win over Rock Island. Had a tip dunk put back at the end of the first half to score his 1,000th point of his career, and almost had another nice one tonight, just off.
Kaiser, perhaps the most athletic player on the floor. Metamora gives it away into the hands of Brennan, and he runs to the right block and lays it in with one hand. St. Francis back in front 6-5, 4.5 to play in the first.
In a game of this magnitude, limiting those turnovers is going to be big on both sides.
Drew Tucker walks it up. He's been one of the offensive catalysts for the Redbirds this season. Dribbles to the right wing, goes up strong, tries the shot, and he's fouled. Fouled at the right block. Jack Brennan tried to get in there and take the charge. And he was called for the foul. Rather, it was on Brendan Yarusso. That's the second foul of the contest on St. Francis. Metamora still with no team fouls. First free throw from Tucker. Too strong.
And almost a little bit of that intimidation factor. Both teams shooting. Got the student section right in front of them. Wheaton St. Francis got really loud after the miss.
Tucker takes two dribbles and his second attempt goes down. Drew Tucker has 3 points and it's a tie game, 6-all. 4:10 to play in the first quarter of action. Yarusso dribbles to the right wing, passes into the hands of Miller, tries to drive right baseline, back out. Yarusso, quick trigger three, got it. 9-6 St. Francis.
He's one of those guys that Metamora is going to have to key in on. One of the best sharpshooters on this Spartan squad.
Drew Tucker walks it up with a hip-high dribble. Metamora basketball. Deep left, Tyler Mason into the left corner. Kaiser dribbles back up top between the rings. Reversed into the right wing to Tucker. Hits Kaiser, deep post. Now back up top between the circles to Tucker. Work to the left corner. Zach Schroeder surveying his options. Looks for a screen. He got it. Dribbles to the free throw line. Passes into the left wing. Tucker back to Schroeder between the circles. Now Tucker left wing. Head fake. Tried a spin move. Had it poked away. Got it away from Jack Brennan. Dishes down low. Swanson at the right block. Called for the charge.
It's another good defensive effort there from St. Francis. Just getting the break to go their way, and Metamora is going to have to respond. Down 3 early on.
That takes us to our first media timeout with St. Francis leading the Metamora Redbirds 9-6 in an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Loser goes home. Winner goes to state. We'll be right back on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
And welcome back to Ottawa, Illinois. It's an IHSA 3A Supersectional between the Metamora Redbirds and St. Francis Spartans. Winner goes to state. Metamora looking for its first state title berth in school history, and they trail St. Francis 9-6. It's St. Francis basketball out of the first media timeout. 3:10 to go in the first quarter. Jack Brennan at deep left, surveying his options, dribbles between the circles, now to the right wing, and feeds Sean Killian in the post. Going to work on Kaiser, dribbles, tries a left-handed layup, couldn't get it to go. Put back, yes, from Killian.
Talked about those offensive rebounds being key. Killian able to follow his own miss, put it back in for 2.
It's 11-6. St. Francis over Metamora. Tyson Swanson, left wing, now to the right wing to Drew Tucker. Looks inside, now drives inside, tries to spin and he's denied. Goes back up top. Tyler Mason kicks to the corner for Drew Tucker. Thought about the 3, now back up top to Schroeder. Over to the right wing to Swanson. Drives inside the paint, tries a spin move, carries the basketball to the bucket, and it goes up and in. It's 11-8. Metamora still trailing, but a big bucket there. 2:15 to go in the first.
Just a patient shot there from Swanson, able to get around the defender and put it off the glass.
Swanson's first bucket. Francis with the basketball. St. Francis, that is, moving from left to right. Yaruso thought about a step-back 3, dishes to the right wing. Brennan thought about a 3. Now he calls for a screen, directing traffic. Dribbles left, the top of the arc. Tries to runner from the free throw line, couldn't hit. Long rebound into the hands of Drew Tucker and Metamora. Shifty dribbling at half court to get past the defense. Now he slows it down. Looking for Swanson, couldn't get it to him. Now dishes to Schroeder, the lone senior on the floor for the Redbirds. Bounce passes down low to Swanson. Tries a layup and it's blocked in the paint by Sean Killian. Brennan ahead, baseline, Jay, got it. 13-8, 1.5 minutes to play in the first.
Swanson elected to go up for that shot, gets blocked. Had Tyler Mason in the corner. I don't think he saw him over there. Metamora a chance to respond now.
Listen to St. Francis fans. Schroeder between the rings. To the right wing to Drew Tucker. Dribbles twice. Passes into the right corner for Mason. Back to Tucker. Now Schroeder, deep right. Dribbles inside. Drives and kicks. Corner 3 from Mason. Falls short. Rebound to St. Francis and Brendan Yaruso, and he slows it down under a minute to play in the first. 13-8 St. Francis.
Good start for St. Francis here. Coming out the gate hot. Metamora trying to find that answer.
Brennan at the top of the arc, dishes down low to a wide open Miller, contested layup, couldn't get it. Rebound falls to Swanson and Metamora. Schroeder walks it across, 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Schroeder dishes out. Tucker thought about the three at the left wing. Now weaves in and out of traffic, back to the left corner, and the Birds will reset. 20 seconds on the clock now in the first. Tucker dribbles just a step in front of half court, deep left. Guarded closely by Yarusso, and an offensive foul called. With 12 seconds left in the first quarter, St. Francis will have a chance for the final shot. Metamora goes with a sub. Mason out. Matthew Zobrist, the 6'2 freshman, in.
Chance for St. Francis to get the last shot.
Brennan goes into the paint. TJ McMillian into the corner. Yarusso trapped. Pass swatted away, out off of Schroeder. Good play from Schroeder to swat it out of bounds into some fans sitting courtside on the left baseline. It's a barn here in Ottawa. St. Francis will inbound from the left sideline. Jack Brennan has 3.8 seconds. Gets the basketball, sends things in motion to Yarusso. Left wing, deep three, falls well short. Tip couldn't go from McMillian, and that's all for the first quarter. It's the St. Francis Spartans out of the Metro Suburban Conference leading the Metamora Redbirds out of the Middle Illini Conference 13-8 with a trip to state on the line. Second quarter coming up after this on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe.
Welcome back inside the Kingman Gymnasium at Ottawa Township High School. 3A Supersectional between Metamora and St. Francis. Winner goes to state, loser goes home. Metamora trailing St. Francis early 13-8. Equal scoring effort for the Spartans, led by 4 points from Jack Brennan, their senior captain. Spartans basketball, they work it around the arc to Miller. Goes down low to TJ McMillian, and he was fouled on the floor. That's the second team foul against the Redbirds. First on Kaiser. So the Spartans will inbound from the left side of the bucket. Jack Brennan scans the floor, looking for options. Dishes into the corner for Killian. Now back up top, Nicholas Rowland. 6'2 senior, dribbles around a little bit and dishes to Brennan. Deep right, now deep left to Colin Kiesler. Kiesler to Miller at the right elbow, into the hands of Killian. Fake the handoff, dishes back to Miller. Pull-up jumper blocked by Tucker. Back into the hands of Miller. The Spartans reset. TJ McMillian at the left elbow. Heaves it back up top for Brennan between the circles. 7:20 to go, second quarter. Brennan drives down low. No look past McMillian. Shot up short. Rebound loose into the hands of Schroeder and Metamora.
That was a great defensive effort there for Metamora. Able to hold the Spartans scoreless on this possession. A chance to answer here.
Trailing 13-8. Drew Tucker sets up the offense. Dribbles to the right wing. Hands off to Zobrist. Now to the left wing to Zach Schroeder. Schroeder points, directs Kaiser for a screen, dribbles around to the right, pull-up jumper from the free throw line, couldn't get it. Rebound long into the hands of Colin Kiesler, the 6' senior. And St. Francis will walk it up. Sebastian Miller across the timeline. To the left wing, Killian, back to Miller. Feeds McMillian in the post, fadeaway jumper, no, but a foul called. That's Ethan Kaiser's second. And John, all the momentum in this building in favor of St. Francis right now. While Metamora brought the bigger crowd, you couldn't be able to tell in terms of noise right now.
Yeah, I think St. Francis kind of knew what was at hand here. Having a tough opponent in front of them in Metamora and getting Ethan Kaiser in foul trouble early, that could play a factor for the Redbirds.
Luke Hopp, the 6'6 sophomore, comes in to get Kaiser, the 6'6 junior. Metamora, no shortage of size. McMillian missed the first free throw. Still 13-8. His second goes in and out. Rebound loose, batted around into the hands of Luke Hopp and Metamora. They still trail 13-8, 6.5 minutes to play in the first half. State title on the line, rather state trip on the line. Winner of this game will move on to the state semifinals on Friday. Zach Schroeder drives baseline, dishes into the corner. Hopp, good ball movement from the Redbirds. It's at the left wing. Tucker goes inside, tries a layup, too strong off the window. Rebound to Miller. St. Francis walks it up.
Metamora getting some good looks inside, but St. Francis's defense doing a good job of clogging the lane.
Miller at the left wing. Bounce pass to the top of the key, McMillian. He holds, working against Hopp, dishes out. Kiesler drives inside, right block, had it swatted away, and it's out of the baseline, out off of the Spartans. Going the other way with Metamora. Kiesler will check out. Nicholas Rowland, the 6'2 senior, comes back in. Yaruso also comes back in. And Killian goes to the sidelines. Early story. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, to add some momentum to Metamora, you know they're going to want to find a basket soon. Haven't scored in a few minutes. St. Francis defense really came out to play.
Hopp between the circles, dishes to a wide open Tucker, and he pushed off as he tried to drive baseline. Offensive foul, an easy call against Drew Tucker. That's his first 3 team fouls against the Redbirds, 2 against St. Francis. And the Spartans lead 13-8, 5.5 minutes to play in the first half.
And I think St. Francis, playing a team like Burlington Central, who's so big inside, it definitely carried some of that momentum over, able to play that physical defense on a team like Metamora.
McMillian dishes down low into a wide open Nicholas Rowland, and he gets the finger roll to make it 15-8 Spartans over Metamora. Drew Tucker walks it up. Redbirds need a response. They've yet to score in the second quarter. At the left wing, Swanson to Hopp, back to Swanson. Deep 3 from the top of the arc, goes down. Swanson up to 5 points, and that's the response Metamora needed, now trailing by 4.
That was big.
Miller across the logo at half court to McMillian, deep left wing. Doesn't put the rock on the floor, looking for a teammate. Had Jack Brennan, instead passes to Miller between the circles. Miller dribbles hip high between the legs, just in front of the logo. Spartans slowing it down. Now into the hands of Rowland. Deep left wing, Rowland, hands behind him to Brennan Yaruso. Yaruso, bounce passes to McMillian at the free throw line in the high post, looking for a handoff, goes down low, almost traveled, dishes out Yaruso, 3, bounces off the iron, over the backboard, out of bounds, off the Spartans. Metamora with a chance to cut it to 1 possession.
It's a good look there from McMillian, able to kick it to Yaruso, the best 3-point shooters on the St. Francis team. Just couldn't get that one to fall, and just like that, back with Metamora, a chance to cut into this lead.
Low scoring affair here. Metamora trailing 15-11. Chance to play for a state title on the line. Winner moves on to the state semifinals. Zobrist up top, pulls up from 17, goes down, nothing but nylon. Matthew Zobrist, the freshman, stepping up big, and it's a 2-point game, 3:50 to go, second quarter.
And in this environment, being a freshman, that is a big-time spot in a Supersectional, and he answers the call.
Brennan between the rings for St. Francis. Dishes to Miller, drives inside. Hands off to Yaruso, hounded on defense by Schroeder. Yaruso dribbles backwards, 3.5 minutes to go. Metamora fans looking for a double dribble. Yaruso dishes down low to Rowland, looking for options. Back out, Adam Weiborg. Over to Yaruso. Weiborg, first time we've called his name tonight. And Yaruso stripped at the right block. Metamora on the run. Zobrist thought about pulling up from deep, and he'll slow it down. Dish it back up top to Schroeder between the circles. Schroeder to the right wing, to the right corner, Hot. Back up top, Schroeder. And a foul called on St. Francis with 3:02 to go in the second quarter. That takes us to our second quarter media timeout. It's St. Francis hanging on to a 2-point lead, 15-13 over Metamora. You're listening to IHSA Playoff Basketball on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
Welcome back inside Ottawa Township High School. It's the Metamora Redbirds and St. Francis Spartans battling in Supersectionals. Trip to the state finals on the line. Metamora trailing St. Francis 15-13. Metamora ball. They inbound to Zach Schroeder down low. Tries a shot, partially blocked, gets his own rebound, fades away from the bucket, and got it to go with one hand, and we're not at all up at 15.
That is a great post move by the senior. Just the will to win right there, able to fight through the contact and finish off the glass.
Ball in the left post, and it's Adam Weiborg who drives to the bucket and gets the score. St. Francis back in front, 17-15, 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. Metamora moving from right to left. Zach Schroeder with it, drives inside, kicks out. Zobrist thought about the deep three at the left wing. Now Luke Kopp at the left wing. Back up top, Zobrist. Now he'll pull up from deep, and he got it! The freshman's dialed in on the big stage. He's got 5 points, and Metamora has its first lead since the early going, 18-17, 2:10 to play in the first half.
Larry, Friday night in that big win over Rock Island, he had a steal late in the game to score and help push the Redbirds to victory. Right there, he answers the call here in this first half.
Weiborg drives baseline, dishes out, gets it back, tries a one-handed layup, count it, and the foul.
Weiborg in the game right now at 6'6", a bigger frame than Hop. This is kind of where the presence of Ethan Kaiser is hurting the Redbirds down low.
First foul on Luke Hop. Weiborg to the line for the bonus free throw, and it misses right. Rebound loose, and it's an offensive board for Yaruso. Yaruso down low, and another two for Adam Weiborg. He's got 6.
Big quarter out of Weiborg right now. St. Francis getting that momentum back.
The senior off the bench stepping up big time. St. Francis now leads 21-18. 90 seconds to play in the first half. Metamora playing catch in the backcourt. It's Tyler Mason, the sophomore, and Zach Schroeder at the left wing. Dribbles once, double team, surveys his own defense, bounce pass into the right corner. Matthew Zobrist thought about the three, dishes back to the left corner. Quick trigger three from Tyson Swanson, bounces off the iron. Rebound falls to Yaruso and St. Francis. Miller chugs ahead into the left corner. Feeds Weiborg in the post, fadeaway jumper rolls off the rim, and the rebound goes to the Redbirds. Zobrist across the timeline with under a minute to play in the half. Metamora trailing by 3. Zobrist in the left corner. Up top, Tyler Mason. Schroeder will try the three, and he got it! Metamora ties it up. Zach Schroeder up to 5 points, 21 all, 35 seconds left in the first half.
Back and forth we go, and this is the super sectional we anticipated. Both teams exchanging blows.
Jack Brennan dances on the dribble at deep right. Now picks it up between the rings, bounce pass to the right to Miller. He's got 20 seconds. You can hear the Metamora fans chanting defense. Miller to the right wing, back to Yaruso. Guarded closely by Schroeder. Around the horn, Brennan, he's got 10. Brennan at the deep left wing, drives on Zobrist, tries the runner, can't get it to go. Rebound Luke Hop. Metamora has 4. Hop chucks it ahead. Schroeder with 1. Heave at the horn. Misses right. And that's all she wrote for the first half. We'll have a brand new ball game in the second half. It's Metamora 21, Wheaton St. Francis 21.
Just an unbelievable first half by both teams, and we are setting up for a great second half here at Kingman Gymnasium.
Boy, has it been a good one. Don't go anywhere. Joey Wright will have a little halftime discussion, and he'll be right on after a short break. Don't go anywhere. Metamora and Wheaton St. Francis all tied up at 21 apiece at the half of an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Winner goes to state. You're listening to Clutch Sports Media.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
Welcome back to Ottawa Township High School and the historic Kingman Gym. It's halftime of an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Metamora and Wheaton St. Francis all knotted up at 21 points. A fast-paced game, both teams moving up and down the court quickly. A quick game in general. We've only been playing for 28 minutes. It's not even 7:30 here in the Central Time Zone yet, and we've reached halftime with a trip to the State Farm Center on the line. What a scene it is at Kingman Gym. What a game it has been. Both teams have traveled well. I mentioned at the top of the show, not a lot of lower bowl seating, but there are a good number of seats available in the upper level here at Kingman. It's blue across from us and red behind us. Metamora has traveled perhaps just a little better than St. Francis, but not by a whole lot, and the decibel readings have been in the triple digits for much of this game. And speaking of the game, what a game it's been. As I said, all knotted up at 21. It's a little bit of a tale of two approaches. Balanced scoring for the Spartans. Metamora has played a little more through Zach Schroeder and Tyson Swanson. They lead the Redbirds with 5 points apiece, just under half of the Redbirds' scoring output. St. Francis led with 6 points from Adam Weiborg. But when you can say that your leading scorers have 6 points respectively, definitely a balanced scoring output and attack from both of these teams. And it really has been a back and forth affair, both teams trading baskets in the early stages. It was 13-8 at halftime, favoring St. Francis, but the second quarter is when things really started to heat up. Tyson Swanson hit a big three for Metamora with 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Flash forward to 4 minutes and 12 seconds left in the second quarter. Scoring was still balanced. Jack Breenan, Sebastian Miller, Brendan Yaruso, and Nicholas Rowland at that point were the leading scorers for St. Francis, and that was true when they had 4, 3, 2 points respectively. Not a lot of scoring at that point in the game. Until we get to about the 4-minute mark of the second quarter, about halfway through is when things really started to heat up, and that was because Metamora freshman Matthew Zobrist came in and hit a big three. And folks, if you haven't seen a lot of Metamora basketball, Matthew Zobrist, 6'2 freshman, really coming in and making an impact, especially down the stretch last couple of games. A couple of huge shots in the Bradley University sectional, and then some big shots tonight. He hit a two-pointer, 4 minutes left. Zach Schroeder stepping up for Metamora to tie it up at 15 at the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. And then it's when Adam Weiborg stepped up, hit a couple of big threes down the stretch of the first half for the Spartans. First three was right after that Schroeder three, just inside the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. It's Weiborg tying things up at 15 points. Zobrist goes down, gives Metamora an 18-15 lead. 2:15 left in the second quarter, but then a big and one for Wyborg. I guess that's the old-fashioned three. I said a couple of big threes down the stretch. One conventional three, 1 and 1, but nevertheless, he stepped up and got the job done. And then as we move into the late stages of the second quarter, Zach Schroeder, big three with 40 seconds left to tie things up at 21, and that's where we stand. At halftime, 5 minutes left on the clock in the break period. Joey Wright in with you. Want to thank our entire crew, Larry Larson and John Camosa, who have the call of the game with you, and on the social media front, Josh Schwam and Jonathan Michael putting together some great content for you on our social media channels, specifically Twitter during the game at Clutch Sports IL. We do have some stats available for you. We'll start with Metamora and kind of go down the list here, starting with the starters. Zach Schroeder, Ethan Kaiser, Tyson Swanson, Drew Tucker, and Tyler Mason, the starters for Metamora tonight. 6 field goal attempts for Schroeder, and he has put together a total of just 5 points. Tyson Swanson also with 5 on 2 of 4 shooting. Schroeder, 2 of 6 shooting, I should clarify. Drew Tucker and Tyler Mason have also scored 3 points apiece. No points for Ethan Kaiser. And Kaiser has actually been held relatively quiet, just 2 fouls for the Metamora junior. Rebounding, just 9 rebounds for the Redbirds. Leading rebounder is Schroeder, who has 3. Field goals, Metamora, 3 of 7. Pardon me, folks, that doesn't look right as I look down at the sheet. I'll come back to that. Skipping ahead to Wheaton St. Francis, their starting lineup tonight: Jack Brennan, Sebastian Miller, Brendan Yanuso, Nicholas Rowland, and Sean Killen. Leading scorer among those starters, pardon me here, folks. Couple of flubs here on this sheet. I can tell you, though, that Wheaton St. Francis's leading rebounder is Sebastian Miller with 5 rebounds, 3 rebounds from Brendan Yanuso, who has been big on the boards tonight. And as we talked about earlier, St. Francis's leading scorer off the bench is Adam Wyborg, the senior, with 6 points. As I mentioned, Wheaton St. Francis led 13 to 8 at the end of the first quarter. But Metamora outscoring the Spartans 13 to 8 in the second quarter to tie things up at 21. That's where we stand. And keeping an eye on the paint specifically, 18 of St. Francis's 21 points coming from in the paint. Metamora has scored just a quarter of its points in the paint, roughly so anyways. 6 points for the Redbirds, bench points, 6 points for St. Francis, 5 points off the Metamora bench, and those 6 St. Francis points all coming from Adam Wyborg. 2 minutes left in the halftime period. We'll throw it to a quick break and send it back to John Camosa and Larry Larson, who will have the call of the second half. It's IHSA basketball on ClutchSportsIL.com. Metamora and St. Francis tied at 21 at halftime.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
And welcome back inside the Kingman Gymnasium in Ottawa, Illinois. It's an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Winner moves on to the state semifinals to play the winner of Lamont and Chicago Simeon. And right now it's all knotted up, 21 points apiece, getting set for the second quarter. Larry Larson, John Camosa in with you. Thanks for joining us for an audio-only presentation, of course, due to NFHS Network and IHSA regulations, but glad you're with us anyways. John, first half takeaways, one thing for me, Joey Wright touched on it as well. Points in the paint, Wheaton St. Francis 18, Metamora 6.
Yeah, they're doing a really good job of just asserting their dominance down low, getting their spacing down there, and able to finish on the glass. Couple second chance putbacks as well, but Adam Weiborg with 6 points there in that first half. And with Ethan Kaiser being on the bench with those 2 fouls, it kind of opened the door for Weiborg to get inside and use his frame to finish.
Metamora will open the half with the basketball, all tied up, 21 apiece. Drew Tucker walks it up, moving from left to right. It's at the left wing with Zach Schroeder. Dribbles around a screen, up top Kaiser. Feeds Swanson down low, and he gets an easy 2. He had position and took advantage. He's got 7 points to lead all scorers. Metamora in front by 2.
That was one of the easier baskets we've seen inside from Metamora, able to get around that defender. Kaiser with a great find on Swanson.
Nicholas Rowland up top between the rings. Back up top, Brennan. The left wing, bounce passes to Sean Killian. Looking for options, hands off to Miller. Pulls up from 17, halfway down and out. Rebound goes to Kaiser. Metamora basketball looking to build on the early second half lead. Leading 23-21, 7:10 to go third quarter. Drew Tucker passes to the left wing, Zach Schroeder drives inside through a double team, through the contact, tried to lay up, couldn't get it, but a foul, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2.
Metamora looking good early in this second half. He's able to attack the paint, and Schroeder's so good at drawing that contact throughout the season. He does the same right here.
Foul there on Jack Brennan. That's his first, or rather second, on number 1. First free throw goes down for Schroeder, the senior. He's up to 6 points now. Zach Schroeder has been banged up throughout the season, but he's played through much of it, battled back injuries and illness early on in the season. Bends at the knees, second free throw, in and out. So he splits the pair. Metamora still leads by 3, 24-21, St. Francis basketball. 7 minutes to go, third quarter. Sebastian Miller at the right wing, zips it to the left wing to Brennan. Now a 3 on the way from Rowland. Drano all knotted up at 24.
And since the start of this game, St. Francis pulled ahead 13-8. Ever since then, it's been back and forth. Neither team giving an inch.
Tucker walks it up. Schroeder at the left wing, drives inside, kicks back out. Kaiser now to the left wing. Swanson drives baseline. He lost the handle. Jack Brennan tried to reach for it and couldn't hang on. It's out of the baseline, off of him, and the Redbirds will inbound. Zach Schroeder from the left side of the bucket. Scans the floor, heaves it into Kaiser at the left elbow. Dishes up top to Swanson between the circles. Now to Kaiser, step back, thought about a 3. Now he drives downside, and he gets the layup to go at the right block through contact. That's his first bucket. Metamora back in front by 2.
Seen 2 really nice backdoor cuts to start this third quarter. Swanson early on, and then Kaiser able to finish off the assist. It was a great look for Metamora.
Rowland heaves up a floater in the paint, couldn't get it. Rebound to Tyson Swanson. Jets ahead. Kicks into the corner in transition to Mason. Up top, Schroeder at the left wing, and he travels. Metamora fans not happy about that one. They traveled a large contingency. The Metamora side of the gym completely packed. Listen to the Boo Birds.
Yeah, not happy with that call. Metamora a chance to get the ball back with a stop, but St. Francis looking to score to cut, or I should say to tie this game, or a 3 would take the lead.
Metamora leads by 2. DeRusso in the left corner, thought about the 3. Tosses back up top to Brennan. Between the circles, guarded closely by Schroeder. Dribbles at half court, around a screen to the right wing. Drives downside, underhanded pass. Layup try from Killian, no. Rebound to Metamora and Drew Tucker. Kaiser to a wide open Mason for 3 off the attachment, gets his own rebound, dishes down low to Swanson, tries a layup, and he's fouled. Couldn't get it, but he'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Not that they weren't in that first half, but Metamora a lot more physical. Down low, we talked about St. Francis with 18 points to Metamora's 6 in the paint. But right now, Metamora getting in the paint.
Swanson's first free throw goes down. Nothing but net there. He's got 8. The junior having a big game. Nicholas Rowland checks out. And TJ McMillian checks in for St. Francis. Swanson second. Goes down, he goes 2 for 2. He's got a game high 9 points. Metamora leads by 4, their biggest lead of the night so far. Sebastian Miller walks it up, bounce passes to Sean Killian. To the left wing, Terrier Russo looking for McMillian in the paint, doesn't get it to him. The high post to Killian, now down low, McMillian tries a turnaround hook shot, couldn't get it. Rebound to Schroeder. He orchestrates the offense, pushes ahead for Metamora, into the hands of Swanson, tries the 3 and he got it! Listen to these fans. Timeout, St. Francis.
And that'll get the Redbirds crowd fired up as well as the team. Metamora pulling away a little bit in this third quarter, getting fired up.
Metamora's student section is fired up, jumping up and down, trying to keep that momentum through the timeout. How about Tyson Swanson, John? 12 points, 2 threes. He's doing everything for the Birds right now.
Yeah, it should come as no surprise. Tyson Swanson, 22 points in Friday's sectional championship win over Rock Island. He's just came up big when Metamora needed him to, and tonight he's showing out 12 points, and giving Metamora that spark that they really needed here in this third quarter.
Metamora leads St. Francis 31-24. Redbirds trying to get to state for the first time in school history. Supersectional matchup. Kaiser comes away with a steal, and the Redbirds, just like that, are back on offense. He stole the pass away at the left wing. Schroeder walks it up, dishes to the right side to Tyler Mason. Back into the hands of Drew Tucker, stands on the Ottawa logo at half court. Gazes into the zone defense of the Spartans. Dribbles knee high, swings it to the right side to Mason, deep right wing. Now he drives inside to the right block, layup good.
Phenomenal move there by the sophomore, able to split the defense with a wide open layup. Just like that, Metamora really pushing this lead.
The lead is 9, 33-24 in favor of the Birds, under 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Killian, left elbow to the left wing, Brennan drives to the free throw line. 3 ball on the way from Yaruso, no good. Rebound long, bounces out of bounds off of Metamora. Redbirds fans can't believe it, but the Spartans will get a second look. Sub comes in, Nicholas Rowland in before the media timeout. Will step aside. Metamora with its biggest lead of the night, 33-24. This team's vying for a chance to go to the State Farm Center for the IHSA State Finals. We'll be right back on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country.
Welcome back into Ottawa. It's an IHSA 3A Supersectional between Metamora and St. Francis. Redbirds lead 33-24. Trying to make their first ever trip to state as a school. Out of the media timeout, St. Francis basketball. And Brendan Yaruso is fouled up top. That foul against Tyler Mason, that's his first, team's first of the second half. 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Metamora leads by 9. St. Francis inbounds to Yaruso. He stands at the half-court logo. Bounce passes to his right. Deep left wing. Killian. Now up top. Rowland. Nicholas Rowland, 6'2 senior, takes one dribble and hands off to Sebastian Miller. Drives inside. Kicks to the corner. Brennan. Thought about a 3. Takes one dribble. Passes back up top to Killian. They go around the horn to the right wing to Rowland. Drives inside. Fadeaway jumper. Gets around the rim and in. That touched every part of the rim. Rowland got it to go. He's got 7. It's 33-26 Metamora basketball.
Impressive basket there from Rowland after he kind of hit a wall running into Kaiser. Still able to get that one off and in.
Schroeder passes to his right to Kaiser. Into the corner, Drew Tucker. Back to the left wing, Swanson. Into the post, Kaiser goes to work, passes out of it. Schroeder in the right corner, now to the right block, Kaiser takes one dribble, turns towards the hoop, dishes down low, and a foul called as Mason tried to go up to attempt the layup. He'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2.
Tyler Mason, just a sophomore, getting in that starting lineup late in the season. He's really stepped up big for the Redbirds in the postseason so far.
That foul, Nicholas Rowland's second, and the first free throw goes down for Mason. Mason in and out of the starting lineup, kind of alternating with freshman Matthew Zobrist. So head coach Danny Greaves from Metamora unafraid to start those youngsters. Mason goes 2 for 2. The lead is back to 9, 35-26 in favor of the Redbirds, looking for their first ever trip to state. Jack Brennan dribbles across the timeline, bounce passes to his right to Rowland at the left wing, Yaruso. Now back up top, Miller to the left side, into the hands of Yaruso. Thought about the 3 in the corner, drives baseline into the paint, one-handed hook shot, bounces around the rim, couldn't get it to go, rebound loose. Kaiser hauls it in and passes across half court to Schroeder at the left wing. Redbirds wanted to go. Schroeder passes to Kaiser, back to Schroeder. The top of the arc, dribbles around a screen, dishes into the right corner. Tyler Mason goes into Kaiser, passes out of the block. Schroeder up top, Mason drives inside. Now dribbles back out top and hands off to Drew Tucker. Minute 45 to go in the third quarter. Tyson Swanson, deep left, dribbles into the left corner, hit hard, and he lost the handle, and it's a steal out of the sideline. Nicholas Rowland poked it away, and it's called out off of Metamora. Matthew Zobrist comes in for Tyler Mason at the dead ball.
St. Francis staying patient on that defensive possession, able to force a turnover. I got a chance to cut into this lead, but Metamora doing a nice job of burning clock.
At the left wing, Miller drives left baseline, back out to the left wing, Yaruso, and a foul called, an offensive foul. It's going the other way, and it's a moving screen. That one called against Sean Killian. That's his first personal, team's 4th. 4 team fouls on the Spartans, just 1 on the Metamora Redbirds. Redbirds with a lead, 35-26, 1:20 to go. St. Francis going with a half-court press, and a timeout called by Metamora. Zach Schroeder got in a little trouble, trapped in the deep backcourt. Danny Greaves burning his first timeout of the contest. Now he's got 4 left, and St. Francis has 4 left as well. Larry Lawrenson, John Camosa in with you. Glad you're with us. Metamora 35, St. Francis 26. Minute 17 to go in the third quarter. Winner moves on to the IHSA state semifinals to play the winner of Lamont and Simeon. That game going on right now up in the Chicagoland area. Metamora trying to avenge their Supersectional loss back in 2018. They've never made it to state. St. Francis just has 1 previous trip. The story of this one, Tyson Swanson, the 6'2 junior, leading all scorers with 12 points for Metamora. 1:17 to go, third quarter. Metamora leads by 9, and Zach Schroeder will inbound from the left sideline, standing amongst fans in the front row of the courtside seats. He lobs it in to Kaiser between the circles, guarded closely by Sebastian Miller. Dribbles to the right wing and hands off to Tucker. Now to the deep left side, into the hands of Schroeder. Dribbles hip high, back to the right side, Kaiser to the right wing, Zobrist. Looking for Schroeder in the post, feeds it to him. It's poked away, and a hook and hold called on Jack Brennan. That's the senior's 3rd foul for Wheaton St. Francis. That's big, John.
Very big. It's one of their better defenders. He goes down. He's going to actually check out right now. That's a big loss for St. Francis.
Nicholas Rowland comes in for relief. Schroeder inbounds from the right side to the right wing to Kaiser, dribbles to the free throw line, dishes back out to the right wing to Swanson, now back up top into the hands of Drew Tucker. 50 seconds to go in the third quarter. Metamora leads by 9. Tucker drives inside, lost the basketball. Into the hands of Yaruso. Dribbles down low, pass down low. Killian missed the layup, and Metamora grabs it. They race ahead in transition. Schroeder at the left elbow. Dishes out. Drew Tucker drives baseline, picks it up. He's in trouble. And a foul called against St. Francis. We'll see who it's on.
Yeah, Coach Danny Greaves yelling out to his team, one shot. He wanted them to hold there. So with 28 seconds, you got to think Metamora, if they don't turn it over, play for the last shot.
Rowland called for his third personal foul. Zach Schroeder inbounds from the left side of the bucket. Lobs it into Kaiser at the left wing. 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Metamora now in the bonus, leading by 9. Kaiser still at half court, dribbling around. 16 seconds on the game clock now. Third quarter. Kaiser hands off to the left wing, Mason. Worked around to the right side. Kaiser takes a corner three. Too strong. Rebound loose. Schroeder came down with it, but he was out of bounds. So it's going with St. Francis. 4.6 seconds left in the third. Just enough time to race up the court.
Yeah, length of the court. Hit it over half court. Still get a good shot off if they get it up in a hurry.
Colin Kistler checks out. And Jack Brennan comes in for Wheaton St. Francis, playing with 3 fouls. Rowland will inbound from the right side of the bucket, scans the floor, gets it into Brennan. He's got 3, passes ahead into the hands of Yaruso, tries a contested 3, fading away, couldn't get it. That's how the third quarter ends. It's Metamora 35, Wheaton St. Francis 26. The Redbirds 8 minutes away from a state semi-final berth. We'll be right back with the fourth quarter after this on ClutchSportsIL.com.
I've been driving trucks for a long time. Safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
It's the Metamora Redbirds leading the Wheaton St. Francis Spartans 35-26, headed to the fourth quarter of an IHSA 3A Supersectional. The winner moves on to the state semifinals to take on Chicago Simeon, who just took down Lamont 52-47. Wheaton St. Francis basketball out of the quarter break. Sebastian Miller jets ahead to the right side of the lane, tries a fader, couldn't get it to go. Rebound into the hands of Drew Tucker.
Metamora looking to extend this to double digits. St. Francis getting some good looks inside, just can't get it to go.
Drew Tucker, deep left, into the corner. Kaiser drives baseline, off balance layup, gets the roll. The lead is 11, 37-26 Metamora.
Redbirds really clicking on all cylinders.
Spartans need an answer. Up top, Rowland, thought about a 3. Dribbles between the legs, bounces to the right side to Miller. Miller takes one dribble, passes to the left. Rowland tries the 3, too strong, gets his own rebound but loses it. Kaiser pulls it down, and a foul called against St. Francis on the rebound attempt. Metamora in the 1-and-1 bonus. And so Tyson Swanson will go to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1 bonus. And John, that foul on Nicholas Rowland, that's his 4th personal. 7th team foul on St. Francis.
Yeah, 3 on Brennan, 4 on Rowland, and St. Francis getting into foul trouble late in this game. Metamora looking to extend this lead. They are really finding every ounce of momentum in this fourth quarter.
Swanson's first free throw goes down. John, this is not the guy you want to foul tonight. Swanson leading all scorers now with 13 points. The 6'2 junior led Metamora with 22 points on Friday in their sectional championship victory over Rock Island. His second free throw goes down as well. It's 39-26 Metamora. Danger zone for St. Francis. 7 minutes to play in regulation. Miller pulls up for three. Too strong. Kaiser soars for the rebound. Pushes ahead in transition into the hands of Swanson at the right wing. He passes backwards to Kaiser. Drives inside. Right baseline. Tried to pass, but it was stripped away. Bounces out of bounds off of the Spartans, so it'll stay with the Redbirds, moving from left to right. Tucker from the left side of the bucket.
Good take there from Kaiser, but just couldn't get to the baseline.
Inbound goes to Schroeder, drives to the right block, gets the layup through contact. Schroeder has 8 points, 41-26 Metamora. This crowd is on their feet going wild. Metamora comes away with a tie-up, jump ball called. Tyler Mason got on the floor to tie it up with Brendan Yaruso. And the possession arrow favors the Redbirds. Decibels in the 100s at the Kingman Gymnasium in Ottawa.
Metamora student section loving it, their fans loving it, and it is loud in this gymnasium.
Tucker to the right wing, Schroeder back to Tucker. Dishes down low, layup try, good! Out of the hands of Tyson Swanson, he's got 16. 43-26, 3 attempt goes down for Brendan Yaruso. Timeout, St. Francis. Aaron Dwyer, the head coach for the Spartans, wants to talk things over. John, huge lead for Metamora, but it's not over yet, 6:13 to play. Redbirds in front, 43-29.
No, it's not over at all, and you got to look back to Friday's win over Rock Island. It was earlier in the first half, but Metamora 44-26 lead on Rock Island. Rock Island used a big push late in the third and fourth quarter to cut back into the game within 2, and then Redbirds eventually held on 68-64, but anything's possible in postseason play. They needed that 3 from Yaruso to spark some type of momentum, but Redbirds still rolling.
6:13 to play in the IHSA 3A Supersectional here in Ottawa. Metamora leading St. Francis 43-29. Metamora looking for its first ever state semifinal berth. They came one bad call away in 2018. Thomas Hall shot a 3 for what the Redbirds thought was the win. His foot was on the three-point line, the college line. The officials called it a 2. Metamora got robbed of a state berth, but they can taste one now. Leading 43-29, Metamora faces the full court press. Zach Schroeder dribbles it up court, working against Brennan, and he fouls Schroeder. That's 4 on Jack Brennan.
And now you're putting a great free throw shooter at the line and Schroeder, but you got Rowland and Brennan each with 4, 2 of your best players. Not what you want to see if you're Coach Dwyer.
Schroeder to the free throw line to shoot the 1-and-1. Gazes at the hoop, takes a deep breath, dribbles once, bends at the knees, free throw up, and it rolls in and out. Rebound to Colin Kistler. Doors still open for St. Francis, but they need one heck of a run. Brennan between the circles, picks it up, passes inside. Killian tries a layup, and he got it to go. Killian up to 6 points. It's a 5-0 run for St. Francis. Lead down to 12. Schroeder in the backcourt. Jets ahead across the timeline. Double teamed. He lost the dribble. Ball on the floor into the hands of St. Francis, but they give it away. Drew Tucker goes to the rack and lays it in with one hand.
Just like that. Lost the ball. Tucker able to swoop it back and finish.
Miller drives inside for St. Francis. Doesn't get the first attempt, but pulls in his own rebound. Sticks it back in. Miller with 4 points. Timeout on the floor. St. Francis took that one. They've got 3 remaining, and they are trailing by 12. John, their offense has started to open up. They only scored 5 points in that third quarter. Metamora outscored them 14-5. That's really what opened this game up. Metamora is still leading by 12, but that rhythm's starting to come back for the Spartans.
Yeah, and we talked to Coach Aaron Dwyer before this game. He said these guys have been together since 6th grade, even during the pandemic. They were outside playing basketball every day. So you got to think there's a will to win, a drive when they're in that timeout huddle that hey guys, we really got to batten down. We got a state berth on the line. We got to find something within us and get back in this game. So you knew coming into it, Metamora wasn't just going to have an easy road, and St. Francis trying to put a little test together.
Two groups that have played together for a very, very long time. Both teams playing for a state semifinal berth. Metamora by 12, 5:22 to go in regulation. Metamora basketball out of the timeout, moving from left to right. Drew Tucker off the inbounds pass. Gets past the screen from Kaiser, jets ahead to the free throw line, pulls up, but he shuffled the feet. It's a turnover, and now St. Francis could get the lead down to single digits with a three.
And you know they're going to try to find something for Yaruso, maybe coming off a screen, but they've been really effective in the paint. They might just try to cut this to 10.
Killian comes out, Brennan comes back in with 4 fouls. Up top, it's Yaruso. Try to step back and pass into the corner for Colin Kistler, but he wasn't there. He cut to the baseline, wasn't there to receive the pass, so it's a turnover. Can't afford those, trailing by 12 in the fourth quarter of a state playoff game. Metamora basketball leading by 12.
Costly turnover there for the Spartans, not what you want.
Tyler Mason shakes his man, heaves ahead to the left wing. Drew Tucker. Tucker picks it up in the left corner, dishes deep left to Mason. Mason, the sophomore, rolls around a screen to the right wing. Now dribbles backwards, dances on the dribble, goes inside, heaves into the left corner. Kaiser thought about the three, dishes back up top to Tucker. Metamora really taking their time, and now Yaruso fouls Drew Tucker.
You like to think with 4:34 left, Metamora's going to be very patient on their possessions and burn some clock.
That's Yaruso's second, team's 9th, so it's a 1-and-1 bonus free throw coming up for Tucker, but one more and the Birds are in the double bonus. Killian goes to the sideline, and Brennan checks back in. First free throw rolls in and out for Tucker. Door still open for St. Francis. 4.5 minutes to go. They trail by 12. Yaruso at the left elbow, trying to drive on Mason. Fadeaway baseline. Jay is pure. Timeout, St. Francis. That lead is back down to 10, John.
And still a lot of time in this game. That's the basket they needed to find that spark. Metamora got to be patient on their possessions. Still winding that clock down, but St. Francis got to feel a little bit better now that they trimmed it back down to 10.
And John, if you ask me, I think if you had to pick out one player for St. Francis who's going to be really key and keying this comeback, it's got to be Brendan Yaruso, because he's their sharpshooter. He's up to 8 points, team high. He's knocked down 2 threes, but he'll need a few more.
Yeah, and they got to free some space up for him. You know that Metamora is going to come out and face guard him, put a lot of pressure. And it's hard when Yaruso is going to be guarded that hard, because you got guys like Brennan and Roland who can score, but with 4 fouls, they got to be extremely careful.
It's Metamora 45, Wheaton St. Francis 35, 3A Supersectional. Winner moves on to square off against Chicago Simeon on Friday in Champaign in a 3A state semifinal. Metamora was 1 point away from moving on to state back in 2018. They want redemption here tonight. Looking for their first ever state berth.
Now we got both sides on their feet. Wheaton St. Francis fans, Metamora fans. You know everyone's going to be standing for the final 4 minutes of this one.
St. Francis fans clad in royal blue. Metamora fans in red and black. Metamora basketball out of the timeout, moving from left to right. Inbounds pass goes to Tyler Mason. Dances around the backcourt, dribbled it off his foot. He's in some trouble, and Danny Greaves takes a timeout. Metamora has 3 remaining. St. Francis has just 1.
That's a really good defensive effort there from St. Francis, able to put the full court pressure on Tyler Mason. And if you're Metamora, you just got to focus on getting that ball over half court. But you know the Spartans aren't going to make it easy.
They absolutely will not. Thanks for joining us tonight on ClutchSportsIL.com. Audio coverage of an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Wheaton St. Francis and Metamora. Metamora trailed for most of the first half, came back to tie it at the break 21-21. They've led by as many as 14. That lead down to 10. They lead 45-35. Metamora basketball out of the timeout. Zach Schroeder from the sideline gets it into Kaiser, now gets it back. Schroeder, the point guard, gets it across the timeline, drives inside, lobs to the baseline to Kaiser. Now back around the horn, back up top to Drew Tucker. Drives inside, bounce pass to Kaiser, up, under, and in, and one! And a little flex and a slap of the bicep. Ethan Kaiser is feeling it. He's got 6 points after a scoreless first half. Metamora back up by 12.
And we're so used to Ethan Kaiser driving that baseline for a ferocious dunk, but how about the pretty up and under? Metamora's got to feel good after that one.
Metamora 47, Wheaton St. Francis 35. We'll step aside. You're listening to IHSA Supersectional Basketball on Clutch Sports Media.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh, the Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor.
Metamora 47, Wheaton St. Francis 35. Under 4 minutes to play in regulation of an IHSA 3A Supersectional. Winner goes to state. Ethan Kaiser at the free throw line for an and one free throw. He knocks it down. It's now 48-35. Wheaton St. Francis in desperation. Jack Brennan drives downstairs, tries a layup, and he's fouled. That foul on Kaiser, if I'm not mistaken. The official pointing directly to Kaiser, and is indeed on Ethan Kaiser. That's his third personal foul. No Redbirds really in foul trouble. Just this team's second foul. Foul not on the shot. Brennan will inbound from the left side of the bucket. Passes into Sebastian Miller. Now back up top, Rowland. Between the circles, Brennan to the left wing. Sebastian Miller tries a three, too strong. Long rebound, hauled in with one hand by Tyson Swanson. Battling for it in the backcourt. Passes backwards to Schroeder, and he lobs across the timeline to Mason. He picks up his dribble. Back to Schroeder, drives inside the paint, and he was fouled by Sebastian Miller. Easy call there. Probably a good foul as Schroeder had a wide open lane in front of him. But Schroeder will go to the line to shoot 2 bonus free throws.
Yeah, we talked about free throws being so critical in the postseason, and now Metamora can just continue to get to the line and try to ice this game.
Zach Schroeder's first tickles the twine. Schroeder up to 9 points, matching his scoring output from Friday's sectional title at Bradley University. Schroeder's second free throw. Got it. He's got 10. Metamora with a 15-point lead, 50-35, 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth. Miller goes downstairs, bowls over a man, and knocks down the jump shot. Miller's got 6. Metamora trying to break a full court press. Schroeder gets it across the timeline. Lost the dribble, but it's out off of St. Francis.
I think Danny Greaves was looking for a foul there.
Didn't get it. Sean Killian checks out, or checks in. Colin Kistler checks out for St. Francis. Metamora looking to inbound from the right sideline. They get it into Schroeder. He heaves to Kaiser at the left wing, now to the right corner. Into the hands of Tucker and out of the hands of Tucker. It's a turnover forced by the Spartans. Pull up three from Urusso. In and out. Rebound loose, and it's hauled in by the offense and Killian. Back up top to Urusso. He wants another three. Urusso drives inside. Picks it up. Dishes to Brennan. Dishes down low to the other block to Killian, and he gets the layup. He's got 8. That leads back down to 11. 2:40 to go. Metamora again working on the full court press. Tyler Mason jets across the timeline, and he was fouled, and he's a little shaken up.
Yeah, took a hard fall there.
He's sitting on the baseline. Looks like he either cramped up.
Looked like a cramp because the trainer came over there to stretch him, so you hope that's all it is, not something more severe.
They're stretching out his left ankle right now. Does look like a cramp. Of course, that's the traditional stretch that you see from trainers when somebody cramps up. You push that leg in the air and push down, give it a little pressure. But Mason subbed out of the game. Zobrist already comes in, and now it looks like it might be something a little more serious as they're calling in a few more trainers to tend to Mason on the corner. Mason got fouled, tripped up alongside the right sideline, still on his rear end, being helped up, and he's going to be helped to the Metamora bench. 2:37 to go in the fourth quarter. Metamora 50, Wheaton St. Francis 39. Winner moves on to the IHSA 3A state semifinals to take on Chicago Simeon on Friday. Matthew Zobrist, the freshman, to take the bonus free throws. His first one goes up and goes in. Zobrist with 6. That's his first second half point.
And the freshman has really shined tonight for the Redbirds, Zobrist.
And his second one rattles out. Rebound goes to St. Francis. They've got to go. 2.5 minutes left. They trail. Pull up 3 from Yaruso. Misses right. Rebound Kaiser. Still battling for it in the paint. And lobs out of trouble to Zobrist, who passes back to Schroeder up the left sideline. And he's fouled by Yaruso. 51-39 Metamora. And Schroeder going to the line to look to boost that lead. Third foul on Brendan Yaruso.
Schroeder a chance for 2 big free throws here to continue to extend this lead for the Redbirds.
Schroeder's first free throw goes down. He's got 11. He may not be this team's leading scorer, but he's definitely the leader in the locker room, according to head coach Danny Greaves. Without a doubt, their captain, he told me earlier this season. Second free throw goes down. Schroeder's got 12. Good for second on the Redbirds tonight. Sebastian Miller walks it up, drives inside the paint, tries the runner, called for the charge. That's 4 on Miller. And Metamora can really taste it now, leading 53-39.
Yeah, just smart possessions, getting the ball up half court, slowing it down, and letting St. Francis foul, but you know they can taste victory.
Kaiser passes across the timeline to Drew Tucker. Over to the left wing to Tyson Swanson. He keeps the dribble, drives to the rack and puts it in. Almost got in there for the slam, but it counts just as much. 55-39, Yaruso on the other end tries a deep 3 and airballs.
Now the Redbirds really finding their stride and just wrap this one up and get to state. St. Francis got to need a big-time push to try to get into it.
Schroeder inbounds to Zobrist, and he's fouled. That foul on Nicholas Rowland, and the senior fouls out of the Supersectional contest.
Just look up and down that board. Miller with 4 fouls. Rowland out of the game. Brennan with 4. A lot of foul trouble late in this game for the Spartans.
Rowland gets a nice ovation from the Wheaton St. Francis crowd as their fans, some of them, start to file for the exits. Zobrist, first free throw goes down. Metamora 56, Wheaton St. Francis 39, minute 52 to go in regulation. Zobrist, second free throw, misses short. Rebound Yaruso. He jets ahead, up the right sideline, to the right wing, drives inside the paint, tries the finger roll, bounces around the rim, couldn't get it to go. Long rebound goes to Tyson Swanson. Now Drew Tucker jets ahead, bounce pass down low, lob up to Kaiser! He slams it home! That's the exclamation point! Metamora is gonna go to state on the other end. Jack Brennan drains the 3. Wheaton St. Francis not trying to go away. Metamora still working on the full court press. Zobrist takes it across. 1:15 to go in regulation. Kaiser from the corner passes up top Schroeder, and he was fouled hard. Schroeder will go to the free throw line, and this crowd is up for grabs.
And if you wanted to cement a statement for a trip to state. That dunk by Kaiser, that should all but do it for the Redbirds.
St. Francis head coach Aaron Kaiser's pulling his starters. Listen to these fans. Drew Tucker walks towards half court, waving his arms up and down. Zach Schroeder trying to put the finishing touches on this one. His first free throw. Got it. Schroeder's been automatic at the stripe in the second half. Now Danny Greaves is checking out his starters with the exception of Schroeder. Listen to this ovation. Jake Nealon, Solomon Schwartz, Luke DeFrance, and Devin Dunn in. Schroeder's got one more free throw. Metamora a minute and 10 seconds away from state. Schroeder knocks down the second and checks out. Kaiser quick comes to get him.
Well, Schroeder fired up after that one, the senior. 2 big free throws. He knows him and his team are going to state. Just with a phenomenal effort from the Redbirds.
Matt O'Donnell walks it up for St. Francis, tries a dish down low. Ball batted around, stuck on the left sideline, and it rolls out of bounds off of St. Francis. Under a minute to go. Redbird student section chanting that they have won. And they're 50 seconds away from that. Solomon Schwartz at the left wing. Up top, Devin Dunn around the arc to Jake Nealon, who started for much of the season. Now Schwartz drives inside the paint. Back down low. Nealon tries the layup, couldn't get it to go. And an offensive foul on the rebound. Going the other way with the Spartans. Metamora 60. Wheaton St. Francis 42. Chicago Simeon awaits on Friday.
43 seconds away. That revenge from 2018 and coming up just short. Not going to be a reality today. The Redbirds get to their first ever state tournament, or I should say state semifinal appearance.
Dylan Eichenberger walks it up the right side, passes to his left to Kevin Hansen, goes to the rim, lays it up and in for 2. That was Eichenberger. That's his first bucket, 44-60 in favor of Metamora. On the other end, Kaiser Quick tries a layup. He was swatted away by Hansen. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Metamora will inbound from the right side of their bucket. This one's all but over. Metamora moving on to state. Solomon Schwartz scans, lobs it into Kaiser Quick. He didn't know it was coming, but eventually recovered it. Passes to his right to Nealon. Hands off to Luke DeFrance. Dribbles around, 15 seconds. The left wing, Solomon Schwartz. And he's gonna hang on to it. It's Redbird redemption. The Metamora Redbirds, for the first time in school history, are going to state. They defeat St. Francis 60-44. The Redbirds rush the court. It's a mob at half court. What a scene in Ottawa.
They're going to be happy that they're cutting down some nets tonight. Worked so hard all season for this moment. Redbirds getting to state with a matchup against Chicago Simeon.
John, we talked to Metamora head coach Danny Greaves before the game, and you could tell there was a special look in his eyes tonight. Metamora trying to avenge their 2018 Supersectional loss, and they do so successfully, moving on to state for the first time ever.
Yeah, just a great first half. Game was tied at halftime, but just a huge spark from the Redbirds. Whatever was said in that locker room at halftime to get these guys fired up, they came out and showed it in the second half.
Getting ready for the plaque presentation at half court. Metamora fans are sure ready to storm the court. They've done a good job containing them so far. Metamora defeats Wheaton St. Francis 60-44 to win a ticket to the State Farm Center on Friday to play in the state semifinals and take on Chicago Simeon. Nice ovation for Wheaton St. Francis. They're applauded as they walk across the court to the locker room.
It's a great season from St. Francis, coming up one game short. Metamora is going to let this one soak in and then get back to business on Friday, but what a great win from the Redbirds.
We'll listen in a little closer here for the plaque presentation.
At this time, we'd like to congratulate your 2022 Supersectional champion.
Metamora retrieves the plaque. One of the loudest moments all night. The first ever Supersectional championship, and here comes the student section. The student section clad in black rushes the team on the floor. Always one of the best moments of a game like this.
Yeah, they're gonna soak in all of this. Big time Supersectional victory. Metamora came up just short 2018. They bounced back tonight. These fans are loving it.
John, we talked in the pregame show. Joey Wright mentioned it. Metamora felt for a long time that this could be the year, this could be the team. And they proved that tonight in dominant fashion. A dominant second half. First half, especially the first quarter, they struggled, but they sure settled in.
Yeah, I think they knew what was at stake in the moment. A little first quarter jitters, but they really channeled a different energy there in that second half, able to pull away. St. Francis just couldn't find an answer, and Redbirds propelled the victory by that core of players that we've seen all season long. That's up Sparkham, Tyson Swanson, Drew Tucker, Ethan Kaiser, Zach Schroeder. How about the freshman Matthew Zobra stepping up big, as well as sophomore Tyler Mason. And they're going to enjoy this one.
And Metamora 60, Wheaton St. Francis 44, your final score. And John, those scoring leaders, 14 for Zach Schroeder, 18 for Tyson Swanson. Boy, is he on a roll, leading Metamora in scoring in back-to-back games, helping them win the sectional on Friday and then the super sectional tonight. And this is really an all-around Redbirds team that can get you in a lot of ways. Ethan Kaiser, we haven't talked about him much, but he had, I believe, 6 points tonight after not scoring any in the first half. I believe actually 8 points for Kaiser, but no less. A lot of guys that can do a lot of things for Metamora. But looking ahead, they're going to be an underdog against the Chicago Simeon team that has gotten to the State Farm Center and the state level time and time and time and time again. For Metamora, this is their first trip.
Yeah, and you got to think, looking at that story in the Journal-Star from Adam Duvall, that Coach Danny Greaves said the schedule that we've played, nobody really intimidates us. So I think they're going to have that same mindset, getting to that stage, playing at State Farm Center for a state semifinal, a trip to the state championship if they can win. I think they're coming in with that same mindset that they can beat anybody that they face right now as well as they're playing, but not a team you want to look ahead on. Chicago Simeon, big time win over Lamont tonight. Such a dominant team, so that's going to be a tough challenge for the Redbirds, but I think they're ready for what's at hand.
What a game tonight here at Ottawa Township High School, where Metamora has played many times before in Thanksgiving tournaments, and they show that comfort here tonight. We will step aside for a brief break. Joey Wright will land the plane. That's all for me and John Camosa. Thanks for listening tonight. Post-game coverage of Joey Wright coming up next. Metamora defeats Wheaton St. Francis 60-44. Joey Wright coming up.
I've been driving trucks for a long time, and safety is my #1 priority. I know that my truck has huge blind spots. That's why I remember to check my mirrors often for smaller vehicles. Everyone can help keep our roads safe. Next time you're behind the wheel, try to avoid lingering in those blind spots. It can be dangerous. Let's all plan to share the road safely. Learn how at www.sharetheroadsafely.gov.
What makes essential workers essential?
We keep where you work and live clean and safe.
We harvest fresh produce for your families to eat.
We help you heal when you're sick.
Essential workers help our nation run. You're in every corner of our country and come from all over the globe. I'm Marty Walsh. The Wage and Hour Division at the Department of Labor helps ensure you receive the essential protections you deserve. Visit our website or call 866-4US-WAGE.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Labor.
Welcome back to Ottawa Township High School and the historic Kingman Gym. It's the Clutch Sports Media postgame show. Metamora, for the first time in school history, has a chance to play in the IHSA state tournament. They've clinched a trip to the State Farm Center on Friday with a 60-44 win over St. Francis of Wheaton. Shall we ride in with you? It is the Clutch Sports Media post-game show. And what a game it was, folks. Tied 21 at halftime. The Metamora Redbirds pull away. A dominant effort in the second half. Every time Wheaton had some semblance of an answer, it was the Redbirds who stayed the course, got the ball down low, and went to work. Ethan Kaiser with a number of highlight plays. He'll finish with 8 points tonight, but the key X factor for the Redbirds, Tyson Swanson, our Clutch Sports Media player of the game, 18 points. Anytime Metamora needed a spark, it was Tyson Swanson who went to work and attacked. 22 points on Friday against Rock Island and 18 points for Swanson tonight. Before we sign off, we'll take you around the rest of the state. On the other side of the state bracket, it'll be Springfield Sacred Heart Griffin and St. Ignatius College Prep out of Chicago playing in the other state semifinal. SHG with a 28-18 win over East St. Louis tonight, low scoring affair, but the Cyclones enjoying a terrific season. They get the job done. St. Ignatius, a 9-point win, an 11-point win. Misread that over Chicago St. Patrick. Metamora, their path to a state championship goes through Simeon. 52-47 win for Simeon over Lamont tonight in the Supersectional round, and Metamora a 16-point margin of victory over Wheaton St. Francis. The Spartans ending their season at 27-9. Spartans have a lot to be proud about. Aaron Dwyer's group, terrific season. Came into this game having won 16 of their last 18 and 8 of its last 10 did Wheaton St. Francis, but it's Metamora with its 17th win in a row. 29-6 are the Redbirds, 2 wins shy of a state championship and playing at the state level for the first time in school history. Taking a look at some stats, Wheaton St. Francis did manage to outscore Metamora in the paint. We had talked about that at halftime, but Metamora closed that gap significantly. Wheaton St. Francis at halftime had 18 points in the paint to Metamora's 6. Metamora, that's really where they made the difference in the second half, 20 points in the paint in the third and fourth quarters. Points off turnovers, Metamora creating 8 points off turnovers. Wheaton St. Francis not all that far behind with 6. The Spartans did control the offensive board. Second chance points, 14 points for the Spartans. Metamora just 1 second chance point came off a free throw, and bench scoring pretty much even. Spartans with 8 points off the bench, 6 of those coming in the first half from Adam Weiborg, and 7 points off the bench for Metamora. Those by and large came from Matthew Zobrist. Matthew Zobrist had a terrific game. 2 field goals, 2 attempts off the bench, and a couple of free throws. He contributed all 7 of the Metamora points that did not come from starters. As we mentioned, 18 points for Tyson Swanson on 6 of 8 shooting from the field, 2 of 3 from three-point lands. Rebounds, Metamora controlling the glass with Ethan Kaiser He had 6 rebounds, 4 boards from Zach Schroeder and Drew Tucker. Lou Kopp also with 2 rebounds in 6 minutes off the bench. Leaders for Wheaton St. Francis, a balanced scoring attack in the first half that did not change in the second half. Brendan Yanuso with 8 points off the, as a starter, pardon. Yanuso started, as did Sean Killen. He had 8 points as well. They tied for the lead for St. Francis. They got another 7 points from Jack Brennan. And Nicholas Rowland also chipped in 7. Adam Wybong, who had 6 points in the first half, did not score in the second, but he still finishes up there in terms of St. Francis scorers. Score by period. St. Francis led 13-8 after the first quarter. Metamora matched that in the second frame. They outscored the Spartans 13-8 in the second frame to enter the halftime locker room tied at 21, but the Redbirds opening it up in the third quarter, 14-5 run in the third frame, and they closed out strong. Wheaton St. Francis with its best scoring quarter in the fourth quarter, but the Redbirds get the job done and lead the Spartans in that scoring category 25-18 in the final frame to win it 60-44. And some final stats for you. Total shooting, Metamora shot almost 60% from the field, 19 of 32 from the field tonight. Wheaton St. Francis held to just about 39%, 392 on 20 of 51 field goals in the game, and they shot just 10 of 29 for about 35% in the second half. Metamora only missed 4 shots in the second half, 11 of 15. They shot 73% from the field in the second half. And that's where we prepare to leave it to you from Ottawa Township High School. Metamora, for the first time ever, clinching a trip to the state tournament with a 60-44 win over St. Francis Spartans. As I said a moment ago, have a lot to be proud of this season. They'll finish at 27-9. But tonight belongs to Metamora, and they have clinched a berth with Simeon at the State Farm Center. That'll be Friday at 10 a.m. And stay tuned to Clutch Sports Media's social media channels for our coverage plans from the farm on Friday. With a win, Metamora would play for the state title Saturday at 5:30. With a loss, they'd play for third place Friday at 7 p.m. For our entire crew, Larry Larson and John Camoso, who shared a great call tonight, and our social media crew, Jonathan Michael and Josh Schwab, bringing you some great coverage that will hit our social media accounts tonight and tomorrow. I'm Joey Wright for Clutch Sports Media. This has been a presentation of CSM. We thank you for tuning in. Join us next time, where Metamora will play at the state tournament in Champaign. For everyone at Clutch Sports Media, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your Monday night.